Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and I got the Amulet of Yendor.
I'm Claire, and I'm a rogue.
And this is Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest
new video game ideas
that will never get made.
No,
it's okay. Even though even though they're all really good ideas, and we're not going to make them, you, the listener, can make them. We're not going to make them.
No, unless we say
I guess we say that they won't get made.
Yeah. But they might be.
Won't get made, parentheses, by us, and parentheses.
I know. Should we rewrite our intro? That might be so hard for us.
We are almost 100 episodes in.
I know. Well, that's a perfect time to start fresh.
The 100th episode.
If we want to make any changes, we'll do it on the 100th episode.
We'll change every 100 episodes is what we'll do to keep it.
Well, we already changed a couple times since the beginning.
No. What?
Yeah. Because remember, we used to start off with gaming news, then honks and bonks.
I'm thinking specifically the intro.
Oh, no, the intro's been, I think, the exact same since we started.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought just any changes in general, but yeah.
Oh, no. We're allowed to make changes willy-nilly, but changes to the intro?
Yeah.
Not what we do here.
What do we do here?
We pitch games, and then we ditch them. We move right on past. We don't linger on them. We don't try to make them. We
come up with game ideas.
We say them out loud.
Cool game design mechanics, hopefully, and then that's what we're going to do. So... Isaac, do you have a game idea for me to hear?
I do.
Okay. Let's listen.
So I feel like there's a good name somewhere in there, but I don't think I came up with one. So I'm going to call it Traffic Jammer.
I like that, though.
Right,
that's fun.
Yeah. It's a puzzle game where you play as a car navigating intense traffic.
I will say the second you said the name, I knew the game already.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Well, okay, good. So that means it is a good name. So, okay, Traffic Jammer is the good name. So the idea is, I'm not sure if I'd necessarily call it turn-based as much as step-based. So folks, just as a little spoiler alert, we are going to talk about roguelikes a lot because we are doing this podcast recording almost immediately after the roguelike stream.
Yeah, which you can find on our YouTube channel. I'm hoping.
Oh, now we have to upload it before this episode goes up.
Well, we have two full days.
Yeah,
so
I can just
should be fine. But yes,
it's good.
I'm gonna say you can find it on our YouTube channel. So
yeah, and then we'll tell you what that YouTube
if
channel
you missed
is
it, which
at the
I'm
end.
guessing most of you listeners did miss it based on how many people were there. Listeners.
Absolutely disappointing. You didn't put it in your calendars from the first time we announced. Okay,
we announced it twice.
Anyway, so I guess you probably could call it turn-based because, you take a turn and then everything else happens. I'm not sure if you get down to the nitty-gritty, I'm not sure if you would actually call that step-based or something where it's one step at a time. But you are a car. There is a traffic pattern and your car has set movement types, like chess pieces almost. So different cars move in different ways. And the puzzle is to get the car that you're assigned at the beginning of the level to the end of the level in as few moves as possible. So you've got to navigate the holes in traffic, and everything changes every time that you move.
Okay. I would say that's turn-based.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's mechanically all the other cars have a turn as well, and that's why they move when you move. Okay,
yeah. And all the other cars have their own movement styles that you can figure out as you play. So I don't know if it would be based on color or model or something. All sedans do something. Yeah. All sports cars are erratic, so you can't exactly predict what they're going to do, but they'll 90% of the time switch lanes randomly, weave through traffic. 18-wheelers will move slowly and also be multiple tiles, because I'm imagining this is tile-based movement.
Okay.
So a normal car is one tile, 18-wheelers get bigger and bigger.
What I kind of imagine this as is a more fleshed out, interesting, and video game version of that little puzzle game with the cars.
Oh, yeah, the sliding puzzle.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it would, yeah. That is constrained by being a physical little
Right.
thing,
So it's
and
like
so there's very little you
the
can
other
do.
car, like basically you set up a puzzle and then it's just a puzzle, whereas like in your game the other cars are reacting to your own movement and like have different mechanics, so that's what makes it cooler. But like at the base game, that's kind of what I imagine, and then like it gets cooler from there.
Yep, and I'm thinking that there's going to be an extreme difficult. I think at a base level, what I described is like what the basic game is. And there's a lot of permutations you can do of that. But I'm thinking also of like a hardcore mode, which has simultaneous movement. Like once you set the command,
Oh yeah.
your car will try to do it as good as possible, like as much as it can. But every other car will be moving simultaneously.
Folks, it's not an Isaac game if there's not multiple modes.
I need multiple modes, and but this is interesting because this could set up like the potential for car crashes to happen, whereas like the base game wouldn't necessarily have that. Like your car would move and then every other car would move, but this would be like after you set the command, everything moves at once. So if something switches lane immediately in front of you when you decided to go like straight forward 3 spaces or something, smash, car accident, game over, well, level over, restart from the beginning. And I think that adds a really interesting layer of it for people who want the extra challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Traffic Jammer. Do you have any questions about the mechanics? I feel like I actually described it without winding around too much.
Yeah, that was a very clear, imaginable,
very
achievable.
Rare.
Yeah. Wow.
It didn't take me 45 minutes to explain the basic mechanic of the game.
It only took you 84 episodes to come up with a game that you can explain. No, there's been other games I think you've pitched that are very simple.
Yeah.
And like, not in a bad way, just in a like, here's how you play. And it's like, wow, I get it.
Yeah. Also, can you guess who's been commuting for the past week?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's where that game idea came from.
Yeah, for the past week and then for infinity weeks going forward with the rest of your life.
No.
Luckily,
well, maybe not the rest of my life.
Yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, little peek into the personal life for you right there. Return to office, am I right?
Yeah, fine in 2024. All right. Do you have a game idea?
I do have a game idea.
Oh,
I am worried that I pitched this already, but I don't think I did.
No one's keeping track, or are you?
Listener
if you're keeping
Megan
track,
might be keeping
email
track.
us.
Yeah, if you're keeping track, email us. Make that game podcast@gmail.com. Yeah. So I think I have talked. I've talked about it to people, and I don't remember if it was on the podcast or not. But
oh, geez,
I really like looking at people's market stall setups for like art markets.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll just go on TikTok at the hashtag artist market and just look at everyone's setup. Because they'll just show off their cool setups. I just think that, like, I guess merchandising is the thing. Like, I just love it. I love looking at it.
Okay.
I love thinking about it. So I'm like, okay, this is a very simple, it's like a reskin. We've done this before, but it's Craft Fair Tycoon.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But
with special focus on like the actual layout.
Yeah, so I guess there's maybe I'll do, because as I'm saying it now, so my initial game idea was you are just one craft like seller.
Okay.
And you would be designing, so like there's 2 different like parts of the gameplay loop. Is like one, you design your stall, you know, like you, and then 2, you like the fair simulates based on your stall design. So you don't necessarily get to do things during that part, but it would basically like maybe do a little animation and then a summary of like how much you sold that day and like how well the traffic was to your store, and have like percentages of like people who like stopped and looked versus people who bought things, almost like a click-through rate but for in-person things. And
I have a crazy idea. Can I suggest it?
Yeah.
You actually do get to interact with that period, but like you have like hunger meters and thirst meters and bathroom meters.
Boy.
And you have to weigh the pros and cons of like delaying getting up to leaving your stall alone, and then like depending on when you leave and stuff, maybe people steal things from you, maybe you miss customers, you know, just add an extra level of simulation there.
Maybe
that could be the hardcore mode, the multi-mode.
But okay, and now I'm remembering. So the reason I thought that I already did this was because of Convention Tycoon, which is another game I pitched. But that's different because you're running the entire convention.
Yes.
This is like you having a stall. So
Yes.
that's all cleared up now. So this is not Convention Tycoon. You're going to different markets. And so you're judged on like, and I think the products would be fairly randomly generated because like maybe you could get like mods to like upload your own like designs for greeting cards or something, but really it's more about the merchandising of it.
Okay.
And so as you like make more money at all these fairs, you can upgrade. So you can get like a bigger table, you can get a tent, you can get like electricity, so you can have like a display, like electric display. You can get, because all those things are upcharges anyway at markets.
Yeah.
So like you need the money. You can hire someone to come with you so you can go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
there we go.
these.
We're getting into it.
Yeah. So and so it'd be based on how you merchandise, like what merchandise you decide to put up, because maybe you won't put everything. Like I'm assuming the game would give you a wide variety of things to sell. So like jewelry, cards, like sculptures, bowls, whatever, ceramics, I don't know, like a really wide variety. And then it'd also be based on what fair you're going to.
Okay.
So like if you're going to like a Christmas craft fair, like you're not going to take
Easter cards.
Exactly.
Or would you?
Well, and if you do, you won't make that many sales, right? So that's, you kind of have to like think about the audience of your craft fair, the size of the craft fair. So like, did you bring enough? Did you bring too much? The aesthetics of the fair and of your own, stall, and then where you're putting stuff so people can see it and buy it easily. And that's the game. That's
Okay.
Craft Fair Tycoon.
So aesthetics, I think, are hard to program rules into games.
We've talked about this before, and I think it's not hard.
Oh, we've talked about this before?
Yeah, because in the game, there's a game we either, I think it might have been a rapid fire game, I don't know, but it was about like designing a room.
Okay.
And you were saying it's hard to say like aesthetics, but I was like you can assign certain rules. So like having like all just one color with no depth would be a negative. Whereas if you add multiple colors into the room, that's like a positive. So it might not be judging the colors themselves because that is subjective, but it's judging the way you use value.
Okay. I mean, that is basically where I was going. Like, it would have to be tags. It's the problem of Animal Crossing's version of feng shui versus
except it
real
wouldn't
feng
be
shui.
that because like so like the thing is with aesthetics, what I mean I guess with aesthetics with the booth wouldn't be like a color scheme or anything like that. Like that you could just make whatever you want.
I was imagining it would be like placement of
so it would be like
items.
Did you put the cards flat on the table or did you put them on a stand?
Yeah. Oh, and that's an upsell that you have to get money for.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like that's kind of like no one's going to buy a card that's like flat on a table. So that would be I think that would be the standard.
When you first start.
When I first, even the very first craft fair I went to with cards, I found something in this house to prop them up. Like that is a base level.
Okay.
Like no one's gonna, because they have to. There has to be at least one thing that people can see from far away to be like, that's cool, and like I want to go visit that. If everything's flat on the table, you can't see anything.
Okay.
And I mean, you might even maybe it is like you can pick whatever colors you want, but you want those to be consistent. So like if your tablecloth is one color and then like your banner is another color, that would be a negative on you because it doesn't look like a cohesive brand.
Okay.
So you can be whatever color you want, and the game's not going to judge like bright pink's ugly, but like it's gonna.
The game is going to be like you need to have a brand 3 colors or less.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean by aesthetics. Like there's not like you've put like items together. You have. It looks tidy and inviting and it's not cluttered and everything is displayed the way you want it to, like those kinds of things. So yeah,
your jewelry is one big bunch in the center of the table.
Just a big bowl of loose earrings.
Yeah.
That you ferret through.
Okay. And here, think about this. This is not game design. This is real life. You have a little bowl of earrings and then you have shot glasses and people can buy a shot glass and then scoop the earrings. They pay some amount of money and they just get whatever comes up in the shot glass.
That's actually very fun. That's a fun little gimmick. Maybe we could add that to the game and like, do you have an activity? Like maybe one of the upcharges is like activities for people to do because that actually would be really fun. That reminds me of a lot of game stores that have the dice bowl.
Yeah.
That's like a pretty common thing to find. You can like scoop a handful or like they usually have like a scoop and you can pay for a scoop of dice.
Actually, oh man, next time you go to one of these fairs, you should do either the dice thing or
Well, I
like
don't
go to
have
Claire's
dice.
and buy a bunch of the earrings.
No, it would
and
have to be earrings that like I make.
fair. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a way to get this online as quick as possible. I'm cutting every corner I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is fun, but maybe we could do it with minis. Just minis. Just random minis.
Oh, like 3D printed stuff and
yeah.
little
Scoop
clay.
A mini. Yeah.
Yeah, a mini scoop.
Mini scoop.
Shot glass full. Or are there mini shot glasses? Like half shots or something?
No.
Oh, no. Well.
But I think the way that, because like the way that the objects are going to fall into the shot glass, they wouldn't like fill it. You know, like there's still going to be empty space. So I think it'd be fine to use a regular. And those could be company branded.
Ah, there we go.
Get that cricket.
Yeah, there we go. We've diverted from game design quite a bit.
We're going now. We're good. But anyway, well, that's my game though.
Yeah,
Craft Beer Tycoon. I would play it, so I made it.
Yes. All right. So now we like to talk about game design related things, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the stream that we did, which is a game design. No, it's not. But you'll see where we're going.
This one was a little gamified, though.
Yeah. So for those that did not tune in and have not yet watched the video, what happened was, if you're an avid listener, you will know that we talk about roguelikes and roguelites a lot. Specifically, I talk about roguelikes.
Yeah, and then I make fun of it because I'm like, this makes no sense to me.
Yes. Claire has never seen or played a rogue.
Or rogue. I've never seen or played rogue.
I was saying it in the internet.
Oh.
Like Mimi, I have never done. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
well.
it didn't muster. It didn't pass muster. Anyways, I'm not funny. I never have been.
Funny.
I've never done a funny.
No,
See, I did it again. I've never done a funny.
No, but that makes sense. Whereas a rogue, I was like, because we're thinking about it in terms of classification, so my brain was like,
there's only one rogue.
But I didn't know if maybe
Everything
that wasn't
else is a
true. I was like, was
roguelike.
that not true? I don't know what's real. Okay, anyway, keep going.
So, I found a bunch of games in my Steam library that had the roguelike or roguelite tags. And then I also researched whether it's actually advertised as roguelike or roguelite on like the store page. And then I found if there was any articles talking about the game as a roguelike or roguelite. And it had to be multiple articles. It couldn't just be one person making a Reddit post like Civilization 6 is a roguelike. No. And so I kept a notes file and had Claire play all these games, and she had to guess, without having played Rogue at all, whether the game that she was playing was classified as roguelike or roguelite. And then we ended with playing Rogue just to see her thoughts on that. So
I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Yeah, why don't you start sharing some thoughts about the stream? So your experience, well, I'll say the games that I remember us playing, or you playing. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. Mm-hmm. FTL. That was one of the last ones.
Say it with the whole name.
Faster Than Light?
Okay.
I think the official name is FTL.
Okay, that's the ship game.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Downwell, Tales of Majayal.
That was a real winner.
Disc Room.
That was a real loser.
You tried to play Going Under. Sadly, it was too motion sicky.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think that was all the ones we played besides Rogue.
If Going Under let you use the controller, I would have been able to play it.
Yeah.
But it used mouse to move the camera.
Yeah, which is surprising because I'm pretty sure it is also on Switch, but I'll have to look into that. Okay. So, all right. Let's talk about your experience. Do you feel like you now have a solid understanding of what a roguelike and a roguelite is?
So I will say yes, but I also want to say that I think both of these games, the roguelike and the roguelite, are completely separate from the game Rogue. They are different categories. I think they are a category of a game.
Okay.
I think a roguelite is actually a very clear category of a game, but it is completely devoid of what Rogue is.
Okay.
It is like it could just be called Blop Blop, and that would be completely the same.
Okay.
I love a Blop Blop game. It's a game where something regenerates over and over, and you have multiple, and you fight a lot.
Okay. All right. And what do you mean by regenerates?
Like when you enter a level, there's random generation happening.
Okay. So every time you open it, there's a random thing.
Right.
And then that is roguelite.
Yeah, but it also has to be a shoot 'em up.
Okay. Okay.
roguelite, I think, and it's a very frequent regenerations. So like nearly every dungeon/room is like a new
Okay.
experience. Whereas the actual Rogue game, which I was shocked when I played that, I was shocked.
Yes.
Shocked.
I was so happy when you finally played it.
As to what Rogue actually is, which for those of you who don't know or haven't watched, you should watch it though, because it's a funny reaction and it's a great end cap to the gauntlet of games. It is very much just like an MS-DOS, like you're a little smiley face and you travel through dungeons
The floor is a period.
Yeah. And I mean, graphics aside, like you're basically just, it's text based.
Yep.
You're traveling through dungeons, and that they are randomly generated, but I don't think but like the whole floor is randomly generated, right?
Yes.
Like it's not like each room as you go is randomly generated.
Correct.
Yeah.
The floor is generated, and then you like explore that floor until you find the staircase.
Which,
down.
like, now that I'm talking through it, I guess if you made it modern day, it would kind of be a shoot 'em up, wouldn't it? Because the battling is more mechanical. Like if you were to skin it with today's technology, you would be shooting quite a lot.
No. What? So.
Because there's a lot of enemies. They fight bats and kestrels and emus.
And hobgoblins. Yeah.
Hobgoblins.
But I mean, you can still design a game with that kind of gameplay without making it a first-person shooter.
That's true. Well, no. A shoot 'em up isn't necessarily a first-person shooter. Like, I would say, like, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank is a shoot 'em up.
Oh, yeah. So Turnip Boy Robs a Bank exists at the same time that, like, I guess Tales of Maj'Eyal is old, but they still make games like Tales of Maj'Eyal.
Okay.
Like the game design is not outdated. It's just a different
Tales of Maj'Eyal is Rogue. That's the only one that I'm like, this one's correct.
Which, the funny part, all right, if you watch the stream, Claire plays Tales of Maj'Eyal, and she opens it up and she starts playing it, and she says, this game is not Rogue. This is the least like Rogue game here.
Because
it's absolutely not Rogue.
Of
Claire
all
said.
the games we played, it was the most different. Like, if you're playing one of these things is not like the other, it was Tales of Maj'Eyal is not like the others. And so I was like, this just isn't it. But it turns out that is the most it of all the games. Because
Tales of Maj'Eyal is... I would say definitively a roguelike, because it is taking what Rogue is.
Right.
It's basically it's like 1-to-1 Rogue.
Yeah.
And then adding new features to
right.
it, like classes, levels, skill trees, graphics, story, like
but the
quests
gameplay
and
is like identical.
Yes, the
so,
moving
the
tile
part,
by tile and fighting bats and kestrels and snakes and stuff.
Slimes. You gotta have a slime.
You gotta have a slime. 100% 1-to-1. Like, gameplay is the same. It's just more. It's we've taken the base game, we've added more.
Yeah. Loop Hero is also a good example of, was that a roguelike? Did we decide, or was that? Because I feel like it's also really close.
So, in my opinion, I would call Loop Hero a roguelite, but let me open up my notes that I have and see what
here's
the category.
My reasoning is, again, I think a roguelite, L-I-T-E, light, is so devoid of Rogue, it doesn't even, it doesn't even resemble Rogue anymore. The one game we played after I played Rogue and kind of like got my mind set around what it is, Super Crate Box is
by Vlambeer.
It is just a platformer. I don't know in what way it is considered a Rogue.
Yeah. So my thoughts on that one. Just someone tagged it as that, because I did not find any article, I don't think.
And you were looking at tags, but it's just funny. It does feel like I understand why this has become a meme for us in the podcast, because it feels like people are just kind of throwing this name out.
It's like a meaningless.
Yeah, it's like if there's any random generation, they're like, this is a Rogue now. And it's like, well, that's one mechanic of a game. I don't know, like, if you can say that.
If you play a game where you have, let's call them runs, and anything is randomly generated about those runs. So in Super Crate Box, if you had played the actual game, the random generation aspect is which enemies spawn and what guns you get from the crates.
I could get that even from the tutorial.
So that's what makes it tagged as a roguelike, not a roguelite. So Loop Hero is tagged as a roguelite.
Okay.
And multiple online articles refer to it as a roguelike.
Okay. Well, see, and that's what I think in truth, if it was like if the definition of a roguelite made any sense at all, I would say it would be a roguelite, right? Because it is taking some elements, but it's a little bit different. Like
it's got the runs.
Yeah,
I would say the runs.
That makes it sound like it has diarrhea.
Oops.
I think it's funny.
So yeah, it's got the run.
Your pants. You're playing a roguelike.
It's got the run-based gameplay loop, I'll say, and I think that is. I guess I needed to narrow down like one thing or two, I'll say two things about roguelites. They have the pseudo random generation, and they have the run-based gameplay. Yeah. And those are, I think, the only two things.
Oh no, and turn-based.
No, because I would consider Turnip Boy roguelite.
Oh, you're saying light, not like?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
Light.
Go ahead.
So if a game has just like random generation of levels and is a run-based game, then I would say that you could call it a roguelite. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
If it does not have the tile-based, turn-based gameplay of Rogue, I don't think you can call it a roguelike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. Yes.
So of the games that you did play, I think all of them, I wouldn't call Disc Room or Super Crate Box, honestly.
On any level, any of it.
I would not call those roguelites. I would call only Tales of Maj'Al. And there was another game that you didn't get to play called Moonring.
Okay.
That I would also consider roguelike because it has the turn-based, tile-based, it's the gameplay of Rogue with graphics and other features at the end of the day. And although it isn't run-based, I don't think it has like a lot of random generation. I think it has like a story world that you like exist in and do so maybe I'm wrong on that, but it has the core gameplay, even if it's not run-based. But I would still call it a roguelike. So I think that the actual game mechanics of turn-based, step-based are what makes it roguelike, even if it has like a set map.
Yeah.
And then the random generation and the runs are roguelites.
Sorry, I ruined it. I'm sorry. It just is what came to mind.
And I don't know if you agree with that.
I do agree with it. I do think that it's almost like that makes sense, but is that how the gaming community is using it? I don't think so. So
it's lost all meaning in the community.
Right, it has. So I think it's like, again, I think it has a meaning, but so basically I was going on vibes, and I started to say if I like it, it's a roguelike because I liked Maj'Al, I liked Loop Hero, I liked Rogue.
Yeah.
So whereas I don't really like Discworld, Super Crate Box was kind of fun, but that's also I don't think that's any of these categories we talked about. I didn't like The Binding of Isaac. I don't like
Oh yeah, you hated Binding of Isaac.
That.
We honked and bonked it, or you honked and bonked it.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
You played it for like 15 minutes, and you're like, "I'm done."
I'm like, I have to play it as long as I feel like I have enough to say about it, and then I'm done. Yeah, I don't like those. And like the train, there's like Infinite Train Turnip Boy.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So yeah, I think that kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
If Claire likes it, it's a roguelike, and if she doesn't, it's a roguelite.
Okay.
But I also do like Turnip Boy Robs a Bank.
Well, yeah, if we go by vibes.
Then again, the Turnip Boy IP is just part of why I like it. Yeah. So like, who knows? If it had been skinned differently, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Are we done talking about roguelikes?
I think so.
Or do you have more?
I feel a little empty in the sense that there is no answer.
Yeah, that's
like that.
That's why it was so funny to me all this time that you've like been confused by it. I'm like, yeah, no, everyone is. Don't worry.
Everyone is, yeah. So but I do feel like I learned a lot, and it was really fun to do that stream because I also feel like there's a lot of games now that I know about that I didn't know about before, and I will say I really do want to play more Loop Hero. I really liked that one.
I gotta see if it's on Switch. Maybe I can gift it to you.
Ooh. I really liked Loop Hero. I liked Original Rogue. That was great.
Yeah.
I like Tales of Maj'Al. I don't know if I'd actually play it alone.
Really?
I don't know. Like,
you did seem pretty enthusiastic about it.
That's true, but I was going really fast. Like I wasn't paying attention to almost anything.
That's valid.
Okay, so yeah, if I played it like that, I think I'd like it. But if I paid too much attention to lore, I might get tired, because that was the one that had so much text.
Yes.
And I was like getting a little fatigued just with all the text, so I just started being like, I'm just gonna go for it.
But like you've got like the core gameplay down enough where you could just go for it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the text was the tutorial text.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was a little bit like overwhelmed with it. Oh, we didn't talk about the card game one. That one was also
yeah, Banners of Ruin was a game on there.
Yeah.
That hold on, I'm gonna bring that up.
I feel like that was also one of the odd ones out.
It was just tagged as both a roguelike and a roguelite. And listeners, it is a card-based game, so you build a deck of cards and you have a party of anthropomorphic animals, and you have like 3 paths that you go down, and the paths are like random generated events. Some of them have fights, and then you use the cards to do the fights. They're like, do 8 damage to one enemy, do 6 damage, and if you break their armor, get a buff for next turn, and that kind of stuff. It has, I would say, almost like it is run based, and it does have random generation.
Does it though? Because it didn't feel like it did, to be quite honest.
Which part?
Like what was randomly generated?
Oh, the cards that you have access to.
That didn't feel randomly generated to me.
As someone who has played multiple runs, I can tell you that every time I played a run, it was different.
I mean, one, I always have a problem with a card-based on like virtual game. Like, why are we doing that? Like, why would you design a game? Like, if you want to make a card game, make a card game. If you want to make a video game, make a video. Like, to me, I don't want to play cards on the computer. The other problem with it is, like, I guess all deck-based games then are random. So, like, is Go Fish a roguelike?
No, it's a roguelite. No, but so the cards in that game are fairly like swords and armor in Rogue, right?
Okay. Yeah.
They are the equipment and like the abilities that you use.
Okay.
And so that is why it's more than just like, okay, it's a card game, therefore it's randomly generated. It's because the cards are representative and fill the gameplay mechanic of the equipment.
Yeah.
Like if you get a longsword, there are certain cards that are longsword based that like get added to your deck.
I mean, but that could happen in a real card game too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Combo cards and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess the more relevant part, I guess me bringing that up, probably you're right. Probably mostly irrelevant, but the more relevant part is the levels, aka the 3 paths that you have, those being randomly generated or dynamically generated or whatever you want to call it. That is the level, just like that is the equivalent of the mazes that Rogue generates. So
I did like the art in that game, but other than that,
cool art,
thumbs down.
Did not like it.
No.
I mean, okay.
Or not, because like I guess it's just the fact that they use the cards as a mechanic, honestly, because it is turn-based. It is randomly generated. But if instead of having the cards, they had a map, and the map was randomly generated, and you're deciding to go between 3 different paths, which is basically what the cards are doing, I would like that better. But also I think it would look more like Rogue or Majayal.
Yeah.
And then like you're moving, the enemies are moving. I guess the difference is, well, no, because the cards also kind of define like the enemies moving towards you, quote unquote. So yeah, if it looked different, I think it would be actually fairly close.
We didn't really talk about it. FTL, Faster Than Light.
Oh yeah.
You know how when you jumped, you picked a node?
Yeah.
That is the exact same thing as the 3 paths in Banners of Ruin.
So those were all random.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell because I was going really fast.
Yes, you were, but
I felt like I had to. The game was like,
Banners of Ruin kind of indicates what the path will have. FTL does not do that. You click a node, and unless it specifically says shop or distress beacon, it randomly decides, or maybe it has by the time you click on it, randomly decided what is going to happen there, like whether it's a pirate attack or whatever.
That was fun.
Yeah, and I'm like that's. You could get that with the same card mechanic of I've got a stack of cards on each path, like draw a card to figure out what happens next. No, I think I just was like
so mad that they used cards.
It's all about presentation is what you're saying.
Yeah.
like, even though mechanically they are the same, when Banners of Ruin presented it as cards, you were like, I don't like this.
Right.
Okay. And then FTL, so that one was pretty divergent from Rogue. And do you have any thoughts, or was that just like, that was a game?
I don't think it was that divergent because, like you said, it has the random paths. Although I guess I didn't notice they were random. Like, I was just clicking around because I was like, this cloud is coming. And I didn't realize I had to get to the exit. So I was like, oh no. Yeah, I guess that one was pretty divergent.
Because it was like fully real-time gameplay as well.
What does that mean?
Real-time, like not turn-based. Like your missiles were on a timer.
That's true. I didn't think about how. Yeah, there's like no turn-based element.
Which like Turnip Boy also not turn-based.
Right.
But
well, that would say why I'd say light and not light.
Yes. And even FTL advertised itself as roguelike, which
is like roguelite, right?
I would assume that maybe that game's pretty old now. That game might have invented roguelites by calling itself roguelike.
Yeah.
That might have evolved into the term roguelite.
Because again, it's like you said, randomly generated areas to travel to, not turn-based. Yeah, it was time-based. So, like, you know, as time passed, you had to, like, regen your weapons and battle pirate ships. And, but each, like, node was random. So, yeah, it does feel more, and you had runs. So it does feel more like a Turnip Boy kind of situation. But, yeah, I thought that game was fun. And yeah, you're right. I think that's why I don't like card-based video games, because any video game could be that. Like the random generation happening in any video game could be represented by a card, but it's not, because I'm playing a video game, is how I feel about it. So anyway, I'll stop ranting about card-based games. I think that does wrap up our Rogue discussion. Yes?
Yes.
All
yeah,
right.
I think we're ready to move on. I like this a lot. This thread from FTL's like Steam community forums from 2014. If this game is a roguelike, then so is Civilization and XCOM, just because it has like randomness in it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Well, that's how. Yeah, it's like all games have some. Well, maybe not all games. Not your game.
And
but
what's really funny is that a lot of people are like tired of the discourse. In 2014, they were already tired of the
10
roguelike
years ago
genre discourse.
I mean, I think we put it to bed. But yes, I agree. It's like, just because there's a random thing doesn't mean it's a rogue. What?
This is a really good quote from this forum thread. Well, I think Rogue was maybe the first roguelike, or one of the first anyways. And then the person responds, Rogue was maybe the first roguelike?
Rogue was
seriously?
Rogue.
And then the person responded, I have no concrete evidence.
Oh.
But apparently, according to Wikipedia, the first roguelike was Beneath Apple Manor, which came out 2 years before Rogue. I love genre. Okay, we're done with this conversation.
Okay,
we have to move on. My brain's going to break.
Yeah, we do.
I should have researched that part. I should have told you that on stream.
That would have been good. That's pretty good.
And had Beneath Apple Manor propped up for you to play. But okay, all right. So we're going to randomly generate some stuff. We're going to roguelike some stuff.
Yeah, actually, our rapid fire round, which is what we're doing right now, is actually a roguelite, it turns out. Because we're going to randomly generate 3 random words. I said random too many times.
Random.
3 random words. We're going to come up with a game idea based on those 3 words, and we also have to come up with a name, and we only have 5 minutes to do so. Are you ready with the timer?
I am. In fact, I'm starting it in 3, 2, 1. Run began.
Okay, this is going to be a challenge. I already can tell. Negligence.
Oh.
Palm. Palm.
Okay.
Expect.
Okay. You are a palm tree nursery.
Okay. I was wondering where we'd go, palm tree or palm hand, but there we go.
Yep. Palm tree nursery, and people expect good palm trees,
well, yeah,
but if you neglect them, they will not come out good, and so people won't buy them from you. Yeah, that's right. It's a tycoon game.
All right, palm tree tycoon.
That's it. I mean, okay, no, you have to water them, and you have to set the greenhouse conditions.
Let's greenhouse tycoon. Let's expand it. It is in...
Not just palm trees.
Right.
Palm trees are a thing in the game.
You start with... Palm trees are like the main thing, but it's just a tropical area, so you can get other plants. Because I think part of the tycoon games that makes them cool is the ability to like get different stuff and like attract that. You know, like make your perfect... Like in Zoo Tycoon, you're like getting different animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Greenhouse Tycoon. Did we do it? Are we done? Was that the fastest game we've ever done?
Yeah, it's really just all about controlling the parameters of like different sections of your greenhouse and like upgrading your greenhouse to have different parameters in different sections.
Right.
Like that's the progression, because like if you've got one greenhouse of a certain size, like okay, yeah, you can grow palm trees, but can you grow a pine tree in that same greenhouse? No, because that has completely different conditions. So you need like either a second greenhouse or an isolated area. I don't know if pine trees would not grow in the same conditions as palm trees, but that was like a random example. And yeah, buying fertilizer and stuff. So yeah, we've got a whole gameplay loop. Can we come up with a better name than
Greenhouse Tycoon? Okay.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
We have 3 minutes.
Okay,
so like we've got a lot of time to throw out some garbage, you know?
Let's go. I'm stretching it out. I'm getting ready. I'm getting loose.
Oh, okay. I'm not doing any of that. I'm staying tense.
All right. It could be called Intense Outdoor Garden Simulator. It could be called Garden Pardon.
Okay. Garden, well, no, because Garden Party is like a thing.
Tropical Oasis. Time to get a plant. Because it is palm trees mostly, so it is a tropical shape.
Rise of the House of Green.
No, that sounds like
which is like the opposite of Fall of the House of Usher.
No, I get that, but...
And somehow we make it spooky.
Okay, you just like changed the whole game with the name, so I'm gonna reject that one.
Fine.
You own a green...
Cocoa Nutty.
No.
Okay. All right, fine. Wow. Shutting that one down. I don't know. That felt great.
No.
All right. Okay. God, there's got to be a more creative... Because, like, Sticky Business is a tycoon game.
Yeah.
And it's not just called Sticker Tycoon.
What about reading palms?
No, but there's no psychic. Are you also a psychic? Are we adding that element?
It's like a joke. Yeah. Sticky Business is a really good name for a game. Good job, Sticky Business.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, okay, if we're going with like you're a greenhouse like in the middle of a desert, we could use the Oasis naming. Like if you are like the source of greenery for a long distance, then we could call it something Oasis, and like we could just give it like
Stasis Oasis. Oasis of fun. Oasis business. Oasis capitalism.
Oh my god. Okay, we have 40 seconds left, but like my idea would be like the name, like, because Stardew Valley, right?
Yeah.
Stardew isn't anything. It's like the name of the place. We could do that with something Oasis.
Okay, we're going to call it Green Dog Oasis.
Green Dog Oasis. Thank you. With 20 seconds left on the clock, Green Dog Oasis.
I thought there's a green tissue box with dogs on it.
The Green Dog Oasis, the Greenhouse Tycoon game. All right. Next 3 random words. Let's hit them up.
Let's go. All right,
let's go. Starting in 1, 2, 3.
Pack.
Okay.
Equinox. Dump.
Okay. All right. Equinox. What is an equinox? Remind me.
It's when the day and the night are equal. So like spring and fall have equinoxes.
Oh, okay. That is harder to work with. I was hoping it was like something specifically like moon related, but because my first thought is like a pack of wolves.
Right. Obviously.
Right.
Also same.
Equinox, I don't know where that comes into it.
I was thinking they're like witch wolves, and they have to dump something on the equinox. It's like a time based, like by the equinox you have to do this thing.
So I was thinking it would be more like a pack, not management, because I don't want it to be like just a tycoon game, but you're a wolf pack.
We're trapped in tycoon games today.
Yeah. And I was thinking the dump could be like an area that you could like scavenge for food.
Okay.
In desperate times, like you wouldn't want to go there, but it's like an area that you could bring your pack to in the game.
So you weren't thinking about dumping a body on the equinox.
I was not.
Interesting. Fascinating.
So we could make Equinox purely a mechanical gameplay thing, and we could make it so that because it's a simulation game, they usually have day-night cycles.
Right.
And we could make it so that days and nights are equal amount of time, like always. Like that's
I think
just how
that's
the
pretty
mechanic
standard,
works.
though. Like most people don't want to program in.
No, I think usually I think if I'm remembering correctly, and we're gonna have a lot of people emailing me to tell me I'm wrong, leaving bad
Make that
Apple
game podcast
reviews.
at gmail.com.
I'm pretty sure like Minecraft days are like 16 minutes and nights are like 8 minutes or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
But most games usually have shorter nights than days.
Okay. I mean, I'm confused that you didn't want to pick up the Wolf Witch's idea, but sure.
That did not speak any gameplay to me. Like,
okay.
what does a wolf witch do?
Spells. They battle in the woods. They learn new spells.
So is it like a turn-based RPG?
Sure. Yeah, because
Okay.
you have your pack, and you can pick up and learn new spells. And on the Equinox, you're the most powerful.
Okay.
But then you have to dump something, and that's what I don't understand. What if it's also a dating sim, and you can only dump people on the Equinox? So it's like
What? What? There's only 2 equinoxes a year or something, isn't there? Or one? Is there only?
There's two a
two.
year.
There's 2, a spring and a fall. So like you can only dump people twice a year.
yeah.
in
So
game?
you gotta pick it right.
Okay.
No, I don't know, but I'm just. You said you didn't want to do another management, and then you just kept doing a management.
No,
so.
this is not a management.
Okay.
I'm actually imagining it more of like an RTS, like a real-time strategy kind of thing. Where
Which I still don't know what that is. That should be the next stream.
Okay, Claire plays Age of Empires 2. And
That's real-time
StarCraft.
strategy. I thought. Oh.
What? You didn't? What?
I thought. Well, I get those confused with city builders. Anyway, this is neither
Oh,
here
well,
nor there.
I have had an episode talking about city builders and real-time strategies. I've talked about it as part of our discussion.
I know,
Did
and
you
I said
absorb nothing?
I did. I said in that episode, I think I don't get it.
Okay.
So-
All right. Well, all right. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. All right. All right. Okay. You are a pack of witch wolves surviving in the woods.
You don't have to do it.
No. I'm combining our ideas.
Okay.
That's why I specifically said surviving in the
yeah,
woods.
and we can do the Equinox thing like you said. With
the purely we are taking
Yes.
the gameplay. We are
the days
every
and
day
nights
is
are
an
equal.
equinox.
Yeah.
Yes, days and nights are equal because you can have as a wolf pack you can have equally interesting things to do in the day and the night, whereas normally games make the night shorter because the night is generally
It's boring, yeah, but you're a wolf, so you can do a lot of stuff. Actually,
Yeah.
what if the dump, instead of being something you don't want to do, is actually what you want to do, but you can only do it at night?
Oh, okay, because humans aren't there to
Right.
Okay. And I'm imagining it can be turn based, so like what I'm specifically imagining is you control the pack. Actually, maybe this is like Baldur's Gate style, where you have the pack and you can move them all individually. And then once battle starts, it goes into like the full turn-based. So like you can have one person exploring one person part of the dump, but if like a guard dog attacks. So what's the name?
Awooooo. The wolf game.
Awooooo, a wolf's life.
Awooooo, a wolf's life.
Awooooo, a wolf's life. All right, 20 seconds left again.
I figured you said that so fast because we were very short on time.
Yeah. But I also like Awooooo, a wolf's life.
I think we can.
I would buy that if that was okay. I'm imagining walking. I'm 12 years old. I
Yeah.
walk into EB Games at the Sangertown Mall. I see on the shelf a PS1 game. It has really fluffy, cartoony PS1 graphics of a really cartoony looking wolf with a dump in the background. I'm buying that game. I'm buying Awooooo, a wolf's life.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
perfect game. All right, last
Perfect game. Okay.
last run.
Last run of this rogue. I'm ready.
Yes. Oh yeah. I started.
Okay. Software.
Oh, games are software.
Dirty.
Okay.
Trivial.
Trivial. Trivial.
What if it's like software engineers? Well, no, you already made software engineers.
I already pitched that. It was a very bleak and depressing game.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay. Software. Dirty.
Trivial.
Trivial. Okay. All right. This is an old like Flash style click 'em up.
Okay.
Where it's obviously made by someone who like is just learning like how to make Flash games or something. And it is about being a software programmer, and the code is dirty, aka it has a bunch of bugs. So like the background is the code, and the bugs are like creatures coming at you, and you click them and they splat, and that's really all it is. So it's kind of like a Flash game first person shooter, but like not super high tech, so you can't like look around.
Right.
It's just things coming at you. You click them, and like the difficulty is some things take multiple clicks. Some things
I'm fully
faster.
seeing it. I'm fully seeing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it. You're painting the picture.
There was a Neopets Flash game actually that I just remembered that is like exactly what I'm trying to describe. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it was literally a Flash game. You were like in a mech, and there was like aliens flying at you that you could like zap.
Okay.
And that's the exact game I'm imagining with a reskin to like just have like code in the background. And yeah, the monsters that you're fighting are the bugs, and that's representing you being a little programmer. Cleaning up your code.
This is nice. I like this. Trivial?
The trivial part is that how easy it would be to make and play, because you're like literally just clicking on stuff,
it's a
and like you could make it in an afternoon.
Yeah, got it.
So I think that's an okay use of the word.
This game? If you said you could make it in an afternoon, I guess you've got a whole afternoon ahead of you.
Okay. Oh my God! Could you imagine if our first Make That Game is this?
Yes,
I'm not going to TM it, but maybe I'll put it up.
You said you wanted to take a break from your other game that you're designing.
That's true.
Have a brain break, have a fun time. I'm just saying.
That's true. All right. Well,
we got to name it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bug Hunter in the Computer.
Bug Hunter in the Computer. BHIC. Wait. Oh, wow. Bug Hunter in the Computer is an anagram of a swear word that we don't like.
It is. Well, yeah, almost. Okay.
Is anagram the right word? It's
no.
The letters mixed together. What am I thinking of?
I don't know what the word is for what you're describing, but I know what you mean. Like
the B swear word. I'm not allowed to say on podcast.
I know. I said I know what you're describing. I just don't know what the word is for what you're just like for the because it's not an anagram. Well, I guess it isn't. It's an anagram, but it's barely an anagram because anagrams usually are a word that makes sense, whereas like Bug Hunter in the Computer doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so let's not name it that. Bug Splat.
I was thinking Bug Breaker.
Oh, Bug Breaker, bits and bobs. I want to get the because Bug Breaker sounds just like what you used to play.
Beast Breaker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I want to emphasize the computer part.
Okay.
So we could say Bug Breaker, but then we need like a computery second line.
Bug Breaker: The Quest for Clean Code.
No, I'm not buying a game called Clean Code.
Bug Breaker : Code Cleaner.
Yes. Bug Breaker Code Cleaner, that I like.
All right, 40 seconds left on the clock.
Essentially BBCC.
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 BBCC. All right. Well, we had a fun time today. I hope you did too, listener. You're with us on this journey.
And games. If you didn't have fun, email us.
Yeah. So you can email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com with any game ideas you want us to read on the pod. If you have words you want us to make games out of, just like we just did. If you have a game you think we should play and talk about, or a game question, like a design topic you want us to discuss, we just love to hear from you. We really do. If you want to give us a rating and review on iTunes or Spotify, please do so. That helps a lot. And also just talk to your friends about this cool podcast that you really like.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. You can also find us on social media at Make That Game Pod. And you can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/MakeThatGame. We are going live once a month, and we will announce those dates as they come up. So we did our February live. We are going to have to plan our March one. And then you can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@ the @ symbol, not the word at. Make That Game, and hopefully we'll be posting all our lives there. So that's all I have to say about that. But if you did hear a game today that you want to make and exist in this world, we're not making it. So we encourage you to get out there and make that game.